Hi everyone, Stacy here with Craft's House of Cards and Games, and this is the picker tag video from SeeAnnSave. She tagged all of us pickers with 15 questions that she wants us to answer, and I know I'm a little late to the party here, but this is the first chance I've had to do the video, so I'm sitting down and doing it today. So stay tuned for the questions and answers. So let's get right into it. Number one, what is your first name and in what state do you live? Well, my name is Stacy, and I live in the awesome state of Texas and the awesome city of San Antonio. Number two, how long have you been a picker? I have been buying and selling things for personal use for a really long time, but for specifically wanting to buy things with the intention of reselling them, I've only been doing that since June of 2012, so not very long at all. But I've been selling on eBay for a really long time. That was not new to me. I've been buying, used things for as long as I can remember. So it was a natural transition for me to move from personal to professional. So I have a really solid foundation of certain things. So that helped a lot. And also the awesome YouTubers have helped a lot. Now I have a broader base of things I know to sell. Number three, do you like the term picker or do you prefer to be called something else? Picker doesn't bother me. Call me a picker. I don't care. Number four, where do you like to sell your items? eBay, Amazon, flea markets, antique mall booths, Craigslist, etc. I primarily sell on eBay like most people. It's just the easiest method most of the time. I've tried selling on Amazon in the past. I don't sell a lot of items with barcodes or new items, so eBay is better for my product than Amazon would be. I do plan on trying to do Amazon again. I have sold on Craigslist. I have sold to people that I know, other board gamers here in San Antonio, and I have sold on a website called BoardGameGeek.com. So, I have a few other avenues besides eBay, but eBay is my primary one. Number five, do you have a business name, and if so, how did you choose it? My business name is Craft's House of Cards and Games, and I chose it kind of as a family. We did it together. We were sitting in Bush's Chicken, the best fried chicken around, and we were discussing business names, and my son kind of came up, well, we're Craft's House, because that's what we call ourselves, the Craft's House. So, we were like, Craft's House of Cards and Games. Hey, so it was like, it was a process. It wasn't like instantaneous, but we caught it. We came up with it. Cards is card games, but also sports cards. So we wanted to integrate both of those ideas into our business name. And then, of course, games is kind of self-explanatory. Number six, where do you go picking at? I will go picking anywhere I can freaking buy something is where I go picking. I do a lot of thrifting. I do a lot of yard sales. I go to estate sales, but I generally don't have that great of luck at estate sales because I'm not willing to pay their prices. Their prices are kind of crazy. I go to quite a few auctions, different kinds of auctions from upscale to box lot types, and I buy off of Craigslist. If somebody has a list of a lot of board games available for sale, I'll buy them from them. So yeah, my buying resources is pretty broad. I've even bought things from Walmart's clearance aisle to resell before. So anywhere, I will buy anywhere. Number seven. What items do you like to pick and sell best? And it will come to no surprise that my favorite item to buy and sell is board games. Second to that is coffee mugs, and they actually complement each other very well, even though they might not seem to on the surface. Board games are very time consuming, both to investigate whether or not they're complete if you want to buy them, and to clean them up and get them ready for pictures if you want to sell them, and to list them in a detailed way so that people can buy from you with confidence. So board games are very time consuming. Coffee mugs are easy to buy and easy to sell and easy to list. There's nothing complicated about coffee mugs, so it really is a good complement to each other in that regard. I can do coffee mugs quickly, and board games are more time consuming, so it all evens out. I also, on another note, like to sell video game swag. Not video games themselves. It's a very competitive market. I do sell video games, but I don't like to sell video games because it is so competitive. But I like video game swag, things like the plushes that come with the toys for free or things like that. I do really, really well with video game swag. Really good money. People will sell those things for cheap because they don't realize that they're worth money because they got it for free with their video game. And that stuff, I've sold a Conker plush for like $25 and it's just this little Conker, Anything video game swag, I adore. Number 8. What has been your biggest score? And I've talked about this quite a bit, so if you have heard me tell this story, I don't know. So I sold a Game & Watch manhole game that was, the game itself was in mint condition. The box itself was in excellent condition, had a couple of creases, a little bit of sticker damage, but otherwise really great condition. It's a game from the early 80s by Nintendo, and manhole, it's just this really basic, simple game, kind of the first handheld type of thing. And yeah, I sold it. I bought it for $0.25. It was in the bottom of a junk box, and I sold it for over $300. Game & Watches generally can do really well, but you want to be careful not to pay too much for them in general, because some of them are not worth $300. The only reason that this one was worth $300, there are 3 things that I contribute to it. First of all, the game itself, manhole, is apparently, one of the rarer ones, and the more rare it is, the more valuable it is. Number 2, the condition. My condition was the game was in mint. I don't think it had ever really been played with, and the box was included. All the pieces were still there, all the original everything, and so it was in phenomenal condition, so my condition. And number 3, international buyers. I am a big fan of international buyers. I will sell to anywhere. I don't exclude any places right now. I've sold to some crazy places. I've sold to Spain and Russia. I don't care. But yeah, so that went to a buyer in Australia, and I had somebody in the United States bidding for it as well, but the buyer in Australia was very, wanted it more, and so that just drove the price up. So definitely having international buyers being able to bid on that item drove the price up, and that's why I got so much money for it. And number 9, share your biggest picking sales nightmare. And this is another long-winded one, so I apologize, but my biggest nightmare in general relating to sales is getting negative feedbacks on eBay. It scares the crap out of me. I don't want it to happen, and it's happened twice. The first time, the person gave me a negative feedback without even having the item in their hand. They relied on a third party to tell them what the condition of it was. The third party told them that the game was crushed. It was a video game, Atari vintage video game in a box. My problem with this is the box had condition damage, and I listed that in the listing, and I took a picture of the condition damage. The box has an indentation. It looks a little crushed. And I packed it really well, in a nice box. Didn't put it in some kind of, bubble wrap or anything like that. I put it in a freaking box, and I packed it with plastic bags so that the box wouldn't move around, that the game wouldn't move around inside of the box. And, his third party told him it was crushed, and he gave me a negative feedback without even contacting me. And, it's so frustrating. And he wasn't really willing to admit that he was a jackass and that he should change it. So, I still have that negative feedback. My second negative feedback came yesterday, and this was so frustrating to me again. And this happens it'll happen to you. It's going to happen where people are stupid but don't want to admit their stupidity. So the person was, and in both of these cases, their feedback scores were low, so they were relatively new to eBay. And, you don't want to exclude those people because that's about 20% of my sales. But, at the same time, it's oh, they're so frustrating. So this guy got the game, everything that was in the game was open, but everything inside was still sealed. It was a Monopoly style game, so sealed together were the community chest and the chance cards. They weren't called that in this game because it wasn't Monopoly, but it was like that, They were sealed together in one pack. I'm 99% positive that I double checked that before I sent it, where I looked at the top, okay, that's the top card, those are those, and then I looked at the bottom and that was a completely different card, so it was the other set of cards. 99% sure I did this, okay? Sealed together, shrink wrapped. He gets the game. He leaves me feedback without contacting me first and says it's missing these cards. And so I message him and I'm like, are you certain? Did you open the shrink wrap pack? Because I'm pretty certain that those cards are there in the shrink wrap pack. And he's like, nope, they're missing. And his responses were all super short. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't want to have negative feedback. Let's work this out. You can change your feedback. Oh, I don't think I can. And I'm like, I'm telling you, you can change your feedback. So let's work this out. I'm like, I can buy you some replacement cards. He didn't seem real receptive to that idea. Probably because he has the fucking cards. Sorry, the freaking cards. Because they were in the shrink wrap, so he probably has them. But he, I was like, I'm like, well, here's your choices. I'm going to give you 2 choices. You pick one, we'll resolve this. I will buy you the cards and have them shipped to you. Because they had a replacement set of those cards on eBay for $3.75. Just happened to be lucky enough that this specific game had some replacement parts on eBay. Or I can just refund you the $4, which was a little bit more than the cards cost themselves, and you can buy them yourself. And he jumped at that refund. Why? Because he has the cards, and he's screwing with me. And he doesn't want to admit he's an idiot who didn't open the entire pack to make sure everything was there. So I refunded him his money. He changed his feedback. All is well in the world. But God, people are stupid. Number 10, is picking your only income, or do you have another job? Picking is my only income at this time. I had something that was giving me a few extra bucks, $100 a month, but I decided that I could take that time that I was spending doing that other thing, invest it into my picking and buying and reselling, and make more than $100 a week, which is what I was doing. It's like I was spending too much time on that, and it was stressful to me. So I'm like, I'm getting rid of this, and I'm just going to focus on the buying and reselling. But buying and reselling has been my primary source of income since June of last year. I'm lucky in that my husband has a really good job, so he pays most of the bills. And so I'm not stressing out if I have a bad month. But, it is my income, and I am trying to make it successful. Number 11, does anyone help you with your picking business? Yes, actually, my husband, who has a full-time job, is very helpful. He helps me with managing my inventory. He helps me with taking pictures. He goes to some things with me, and he does list items. So he does kind of a little bit of everything. He's kind of awesome. Awesome husband. Number 12, what do you use your picking money for? Bills or fun? Well, before we moved into this smaller, more downsized place, I was using my money for bills because we needed it to make ends meet. Now we have downsized our bills. So my husband's money actually covers all the bills easily. So we decided that we're going to use my picking money now for fun things, sort of. And the first fun thing we decided upon was we are going to go to a casino for vacation. So I am now saving money for my casino vacation, and I am motivated to make that happen sooner rather than later. So I will be going crazy this month in the buying and selling because I really want to go. I haven't had a vacation in so long. So fun. I'm having fun with my money right now. Well, I will be. Number 13, who is your favorite YouTube picker? And this is a toughie because there's so many great people out there on YouTube. But if I had to pick my absolute favorite, it would be Heather from Paper Castle. She was kind of the first person that I really resonated with when watching her videos when I first started. I learned a lot from her. And then, also I really love Anne. I'm sad that she closed Annabella's gift shop, but I'm glad to see that with SeeAnnSave, she's actually doing some picking related things. So she hasn't completely abandoned us. I really enjoy Mike Global Voodoo's Thursday night show, What's It Worth? I would love to be a guest on the show. He invited me, but unfortunately Thursday nights is my board gaming night, and I refuse to give that up, so I watch the shows back later. Very entertaining, very fun. But yeah, I can't ever be on the show if it's on Thursday nights, unfortunately. I just found and started watching. I mean, I know people have been mentioning him for a while, but honestly, it was his name that made me go, yeah, how serious can it be? But then I go and watch his videos, and that's Dick Burns. And, he loves it when people say his name in videos too. So Dick Burns, go watch him. He is funny. He is entertaining. He is smart. He knows his things. And he and I have a very similar interests. He is very into board games as well. So, there we go. I'm really enjoying his videos. I love Cripple Picker and Mr. Retro Josh for similar reasons. They're both very inspiring to me and make me feel like I need to get my ass in gear, because if they can do it, I certainly can. And, I don't have an age restriction or, any kind of stroke that I'm recently recovering from. So I don't have any excuses, right? And they're not making excuses. So I need to get on the ball. And I really like Picker Goose's music, intro music. And he's got a lot of energy, which is good. I like people who keep me entertained and engaged, and he does that very well. And there's a whole lot of other people I'm forgetting, I know, but I love y'all. All of y'all. I love y'all. What types of YouTube picking videos do you like best? Hauls, sales, or educational? And I am going to go out on a limb here and be different from everyone else and say that I like the sales videos the best. And the reason for this is you can get a haul video and you can say, hey, I got this and I'm going to get $20 for this. And they'll go, oh, cool, you can get $20 for that? That's so awesome. I'm going to have to look out for those because you can get $20 for those. People claim that they can get $20 for it, but in reality they get 12, okay? So you got to be real careful when watching haul videos and what people think that they can get for items, because it's not always completely accurate. And so with sales videos, you're seeing what people actually get for the items. So they're very educational in that way. I guess they're sales/educational, because you're actually seeing what people are able to sell an item for, not what they think they can get for it. So while I enjoy all the other types of videos, as well, I enjoy sales the most because I feel like I learn the most from seeing what people actually sell. And 15, what are your future reselling goals? My future reselling goals. I would love, and I've got a whole goal board over here, I would love to open my own retail store. Not a reselling store though. I would resell vintage and used board games in my retail store. I would also sell vintage video games, that sort of thing. But it would be a retail store. I would be focusing primarily on new product, new card games, new board games. My husband would probably do a lot of sports card type of stuff in the store. So that is my pipe dream. I don't know. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but it's still my dream. I have sales goals. Of course, my immediate goal is to make enough money to go on vacation. After that, I don't know. But I want to have a lot of inventory come Christmas. So this year, last year was my first year going through everything. My first year going through the Christmas season and then the January doldrums. So now I have a better idea of what to expect. And I know December, you sell crazy stuff and you sell it for crazy money. So I want to be prepared for that this year. I want to make sure I have plenty of inventory listed, because you can have all the inventory in the world, but if it ain't listed, you ain't making any money off of it. And, I also want to meet monthly goals, which just, because of the move, I'm behind on everything right now because I stopped buying. And when you stopped buying, your inventory gets stale and you're not selling. So I'm trying to remedy that, and I plan to very soon. I'm going to be a buy and full. So that is my questions. And now if you are a picker and you have watched my video, I'm tagging you to do the same thing. Answer the questions. I'll include the questions, and I'll include the link to Anne's original video down below. So thank you for watching, and like and subscribe to my videos and my channels, please. We're nearing 400 subscribers, which is super exciting. And thank you everyone for being my friend. I love you. Bye.